Okay, so today we're just going to quickly go over lesson 3 that I have set out, and that is whole numbers, mixed numbers, proper fractions, and improper fractions. So go ahead and label your paper as so that I can go ahead and erase this. Okay, and then let's go over what this means. This is very important to learn, so that's why I'm specifically taking a little time to go over the meaning of these things, because a lot of people will go into fractions and do fraction work, and they'll try to skim by not knowing what any of this means, and I find in math that it is very important to learn what these mean. And they're simple, so they're easy to remember. So let's start with the whole number. Okay, I'm not going to give definitions for these. I'm going to kind of talk about what they are, but give examples. Okay, so a whole number would just be a real number without a fractional piece attached to it, or without a fraction behind it, is how I like to put it. So that would just be, let's go ahead and use 3. I'm going to try to use 3 for these examples. Okay, so that's a whole number, 3. Another one would be 12, or another one would be 82, or it doesn't matter, just a number without a fraction behind it. Okay, I kind of skimmed on a fraction. Okay, so next would be a mixed number. And a mixed number would be a whole number, so let's use that 3 again, with a fraction behind it. So any fraction, let's think of just 1/2, a half. So this reads 3 1/2. Okay, or 3 1/2. Now let's go over proper fraction, okay? Now a proper fraction is if we were to cover this whole number from this mixed number and just take that fraction piece. I like to call them fractorial parts. I'm not sure if that's PC, but that's what we'll use, fractorial part. So when your numerator, right here, the top number is your numerator, is larger than the denominator down under, is how I like to remember that one. Your denominator is down under. Numerator is up top, number 1. Okay, that's how I like to think of that. So proper fraction is when that numerator is smaller than that denominator. So this 1/2 is in fact a proper fraction. Okay, so now let's try an improper fraction and see what it looks like. Maybe you can take a guess at what it's going to look like. Alrighty, and that is when the numerator up top again, number 1, numerator, that is when that part is larger than the denominator down under. Okay, so still just using this, half, I'm going to just flip it, and my numerator is larger than my denominator down under. So when that top number is larger than that bottom number, that is an improper fraction. Okay, now these, I'm going to leave this written here, but let me give you some other examples. Hopefully you got all these down. If not, please rewind and make sure to get those down. Okay, so let's see. A whole number, a different whole number, let's use 7. Okay, a mixed number, and I would like you to think of your own examples if you'd like to. I surely would like you to. Oh, let me use my specified colors. Okay, so let's see, a mixed number. I'm going to use different numbers now this time, okay? Completely different numbers. This would be a mixed number. Okay, 9 2/3. Okay, that's another mixed number. Now, another improper fraction would be 6/8. This could be simplified, of course. And just quickly, let's simplify this. And we'll actually go over a whole separate video on simplifying and reducing, but let's see. Okay, so the simplified version or the reduced version of 6/8 would be 3/4. Okay, 2 can divide into both of those, top and bottom. So let's go ahead and use that 3/4. Let's keep that 3/4 there. Okay, now an improper fraction. Let's say we have 13/7. Okay, that would be an improper fraction. So it's a really good idea to make sure you've got these down packed. And I also would like you to go ahead and, while we're at it, put this in your notes as well, that the top number in a fraction, which would be that 2 right there, is the numerator. I like to think of number for numerator, numerator, number 1, okay? Now for the bottom number, that is your denominator. And hopefully I spelled denominator right. I like math. I don't like spelling and reading so much. Okay, so your denominator, I remember that by denominator down under. Alrighty, so go ahead and just get that down. And make sure you have that, because all of these are important to know what they are, what the meaning of them is. Okay, so that's it.